Welcome to the last presentation for Week 5 of GA103 and our conclusion of our discussion of InDesign fundamentals.
We will now briefly cover working with multi-page documents. This will help you with your final project of the course. Remember from the earlier slides that desktop publishing and word processing programs use points as a default measurement for sizing type fonts and spacing between characters and lines of type. We looked at how 72 points is the equivalent of 1 inch and 36 points equals 1/2 inch. 1 inch is equivalent of 72 points, whereas 12 points equals 1 pica. 6 picas are equal to an inch. Points are used universally for measuring font sizes and spacing between text characters and text lines. In the printing industry, when measuring with picas and points, the designation 3 indicates 3 picas in measurement, whereas 9 after the letter P indicates 9 points. The measurements 3P9, for instance, indicates 3 picas and 9 points, or the equivalent of 5/8 of an inch. Here we see the measurement conversions we would often need when working with layouts. Every new document created has a document page and a master page that is displayed in the Pages palette. Master pages are document templates that a designer can modify to provide consistency in placed items, page formats, formatting, and guidelines for multiple documents. To edit a master page, double-click on the thumbnail in the Pages palette and then make your changes. You can also create a variety of master pages and change documents that meet your needs. In the project for your book, for example, you might create master pages for a table of content, body of a chapter, glossary, and index. Here we see the variety of master page palettes. Every color in the InDesign color palette is defined as either a process color or a spot color. Commercial printers use ink comprised of percentages of the colors cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, CMYK, determined by a subtractive process. The color black, K, is added last as a fourth color for purity and shadows and improved contrast in tones. These 4 colors are used in 4 separate plates during the printing process, hence the term CMYK process colors. Here we see how the different plates can be layered to create the 4-color image in the documents can also be created with a 2-color process, usually having black as one of the colors and a second color as a spot color. This can still create attention-grabbing graphics while saving the client the cost of a 4-color process. Spot colors are special color libraries of pre-mixed inks that will produce a certain color with one ink layer. Spot colors usually are designated by a title description and a number and are printed as a single ink palette rather than a combination of CMYK ink. The continuing banner continues the style, color, and theme of a multi-page document through the pages. You can continue the formatted name of the newsletter and page numbers to help the reader identify what they are reading. You can also create an auto-page marker number that inserts a master page character A and automatically updates changes in organization of pages. Here we see an example of an image by Dirk Advertising where spot colors have been used. You can see the Pantone color swatches on the right. Pantone is the most common spot color formula used today. Connecting text among selected frames is called threading text. You can thread text to flow into selected text frames manually or automatically. To import text to multiple columns manually, you don't need to create text frames. If a red plus sign displays, this is called an overset symbol, which indicates that there is more text that needs to be displayed. You can create a text frame before placing the text, or you can manually flow text between columns using the selection tool. The semi-autoflow method provides control and allows you as the designer to select non-adjacent frames or columns next to one another to thread text. What works nicely with this technique is that the cursor is automatically loaded each time a frame is covered with text until it all flows into the project. The loaded text cursor here looks like a sideways S curve with half solid, half dotted. With the selection tool still active, hold down the Option on a Mac or Alt key on a PC to set up semi. Here you see how threading text can be accomplished. It takes a few tries as you have to get the cursor just in the right place, so be patient. You can let readers know where you can locate the rest of the article. To do this, you can create a jump line that continues to other pages, such as a line that says continued on page 4. Use a jump line page number to automatically update the number of the page containing the story's next or previous threaded text frame when you move or reflow your story's text frames. Usually, the jump line page number should be in a separate text frame from the story it tracks. That way, the jump line page number remains in position even if the story's text reflows and the page number automatically updates as reflected the current page location. Here we see the type palette with the various options, including where to insert page numbers and jump lines. For more information on this, refer to your text. Pull quotes are used in long articles to pull a line or comment out of an article that helps to identify the article to the reader. Pull quotes are inserted between two paragraphs with enough offset spacing to make them stand out. The paragraph palette provides most of the formatting essentials to type lines, including paragraph rules you'll need, and is selected in the Type menu, Type Paragraph. By accessing the Pull Quote option in the Paragraph palette, you can control color and format. The last thing we will review are tabs. Tabs are important in creating accurate columns of data. When you are planning to tab data, do the typing first. Make sure you press the tab key once between columns of data. It may not look correct, but that will be adjusted afterward when you set what are called tab stops. In the Tabs palette, you'll notice various methods of setting tabs using the tab arrows to align flush left, right, centered, or on special characters such as decimal points or the equal sign of an equation, etc. For multiple lines of tabbing and to help keep the data focused, you can create leading characters such as periods in the leader box that leads the viewer to the tabbed information. Here you can see that you have many options when working with tabs. You have to tell the cursor what format and the position. This concludes our lecture. This week I introduced you to the world of InDesign. We covered a lot of information in this lecture, and as I stated at the beginning, remember that over the next few weeks you'll be working in your book with exercises that will take you through much of this step by step. This is the end of the presentation.